guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Paula here. So today I've got something a little bit different for you guys. It's a TV show review. I don't really do TV show reviews on here. I've done a few book reviews, I've done a few film reviews, but not really British TV or TV in general. But today I'm going to be talking about a show I just recently watched and really enjoyed and I wanted to talk about. And as much as this is a review, there's a little bit of a rant because there's some things I had to get off my chest. If you haven't watched Enterprise, I do recommend watching season 1 and 2 before watching this video because I will definitely be spoiling it. So Enterprise is a British comedy drama on BBC3. It is written by and stars Kayode Ewumi and it basically follows around two characters, Jeremiah and Kazim. They are two young black men in South London. They are entrepreneurs and the whole show is about them trying to get their business, Speedy Kaz, off the ground. It is essentially a delivery service. It's similar to Deliveroo but cool, as they say in the show. It's basically all about them trying to get investment in for this business and trying to grow it. First of all, I just want to talk about the positive representation of this show. It's so refreshing to finally see a show that's not about about black men, not about just like gangs and guns and oh I'm cool and you're not and the hood and this and that, because it gets kind of tiring. And a lot of the time I don't watch British TV for that very reason. I think it can be very limiting. You literally have the shows that you don't see yourself in at all, that you're not represented in at all, and then you have the shows that do make sense to the culture I grew up in, but it's literally only the negative things and it's exaggerated, and I just kind of got tired of that. So a lot of the time I watch a lot of American TV that's just like over the top and dramatic and really funny and just dumb, but that's how I like to unwind, and I never really got that with British TV. And so then Enterprise came along and it's definitely along the right track of what I would love to see in TV. There were loads of really interesting topics and themes that were explored in Enterprise and things that you just don't really see on TV. So I just really appreciated that they were tried and spoken about and touched on. So I've got a list, I'll quickly go through them. People that prey on immigrants, people who use young kids and teenagers to do their illegal activities to avoid jail time, losing a parent, black female venture capitalists, ooh, that was a big one, wealth in Africa, parents wanting to have their own lives after having grown up kids, communities that are built around chicken and chip shops, white privilege, and loads of other good stuff like that. There's a lot in this show, there's a lot. And it's funny because there's only like 5 episodes or 6 episodes or whatever, and yet they just pack it in with so much information, just so much good stuff. So I really recommend it. So just a few of my favorite bits. The writing is excellent. Kayode, the guy who writes it and the guy who plays Kazim, he is brilliant. Like, he's just so good. He writes so well. From season 1 to season 2, you see the development, you see the progression. It's just really good writing. The scenes are structured really well. Like, there won't be so much happening in a scene, but the words that are said, the dialogue is just really good. The actors are brilliant. So I just think it's really well put together. I literally found myself rewatching scenes over and over again. And like, if you follow Kayode on Twitter, he sometimes shares scenes and he shares like scripts. There's a specific scene that will always be my favorite scene. I rewatch it all the time. It's where Kazim and Jerry go on a double date with these two girls they found and met on Instagram. That's already a recipe for disaster. But anyway, they go to this restaurant and I don't want to spoil the scene, but the scene between them four and then just the two guys and the waiter, Emmanuel, I cannot deal. Like, it's so good. Honestly, the supporting characters in this show help make it amazing as well. Like, it's not just the kind of show that's just built on the backs of 2 characters and everyone else is kind of like meh. There's a lot of really good supporting characters in this show. A lot of good supporting actors, even if they're in just for 1 scene or for 1 episode. My standout character, other than Kazim and Jerry, is Simi. Simi was brilliant. Like, she was such a good actress. She was just good. She just knew what she was talking about when she spoke. Like, she did it with authority. I believed her. She was just really, really, really good. Like, you know, in your community, you just had that person that everyone knew. If you grew up in London, we call them the bait person. She was the bait person, and she just, I don't know, she embodied it so well. And honestly, she was like one of my favorite characters in the whole of season 2. I mean, if you guys want to give her a spin-off show, honestly, I'm all for it. Kayode, if you're watching this, give Simi a spin-off show. Oh my gosh, Jeremiah's housemate. What was her name? I don't even remember what her name was. Uma? I can't remember what her name was. Oh, I can't. She was hilarious. She was just random and weird. And I don't know what it is, but Jeremiah can never seem to have like normal flatmates. If you've watched season 1, his flatmate, Anil, was crazy. Like, he was ridiculous. He cracked me up. And then she came and cracked me up again. Like, he can't seem to live with normal people apparently for some reason. But honestly, she was hilarious. I also really enjoyed the Speedy Kaz song. I don't know, I feel like I want to put it in, but I'll probably get in trouble for like copyright. But oh my gosh, like I like the fact that they've incorporated music into the show, because especially if you grew up in that part of London or just London in general, music is so important in our childhood. Like, the way you grow up with music is so important. And not just music in general, but generally rap music. And just a lot of black guys wanted to be rappers. If you didn't want to be a footballer, you wanted to be a rapper. And so I think it's really interesting the way they kind of incorporate music, and they have like a studio, and like with the whole like jingle, it just worked really, really well. And the song was an absolute banger, honestly. So here are some bits that could have been improved. If you are watching this and you're from BBC3, you're part of the production team and you're watching this, this is not a criticism. I mean, it is a criticism, but it's not to be mean, because I really like the show. I just think this could have made it better. This is gonna sound so mean after everything I've said, but Jeremiah's character, he was really boring compared to like Kazim. Kazim is super charismatic, he's funny, he's confident, you know, he's the brains behind the whole thing. Jeremiah kind of seems like a sidekick, like he just seems a bit like plain. And I was like having a conversation with a friend of mine, and when she said it, I was like, you are so right. Like, half the time I was saying Kazim and his friend, I barely remembered what Jerry's name was. So I just feel like he could have had a bit more of a personality. Like, he didn't really have much of a personality. Like, he just was there and followed along with what Kaz did. That might just be in the way he was written, and it was intended to be that way. It might be in the actor, I don't know what it was. Okay, no shots to the actor, because he was fine. He was fine. I don't know, for some reason his character didn't really click with me like that, but then again, I like Kazim, so. Layla, I don't think she should have come back in season 2. I'm not trying to be mean, but I just think that she would have been better off staying away in like Holland or wherever she was, and Jeremiah getting a new love interest. I really do like the actress though, and I do feel like she got better than from season 1, where I just didn't really like her. I just didn't think she added anything. The show felt a bit rushed, I'm not going to lie. I feel like everything happened in the last 10 minutes of the show. It was just kind of like, you've been building up all these episodes, and then suddenly everything happens in the last 10 minutes. And then again, this is my issue with British TV in general. A lot of the times the shows don't have a lot of episodes, so you don't have that filler time that American TV shows have. Like, American TV shows will have 20 episodes in one season, and then British TV shows will have 5 episodes in one series. I think everything was going really, really well, and then we got to like episode 5 and everything happened, and it was like I think the last minute is when last minute is when Kazim and Jeremiah get the investment to go and start the business in Africa, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Why is this happening in the last 1 minute of the show? Like, that really infuriated me. It was just so rushed, and I just thought there was so much more development that could have been done. But you know, I get it. Like, the way that a lot of these shows, especially on like BBC3, are made is that they are made to be short. But guys, there was so much more that could have been done. So much more. This is a huge spoiler. I mean, is it a huge spoiler? I don't know. But this is a big spoiler. Ire, who is Kazim's love interest, was the president's daughter. Why? Why? It added nothing. There was no reason for her to be the president's daughter at all. I'm still in my head like, why was she cleaning? Why was she working as a cleaner then? Oh, it didn't make any sense to me. I think that if they had made it to be like her dad was rich, or her dad, you know, owns a big company or something like that. But why was her dad just randomly the president? I think that just didn't make sense to me. Anyway, in series 1, we're introduced to Producer, but Producer is in a wheelchair. In series 2, he is no longer in a wheelchair. It's very strange. Why is he no longer in a wheelchair? That bit was a bit like, okay. Following on, I also don't like the fact that he has that whole storyline with the crazy baby mama thing. That's overdone. I don't like the stereotype of that black men don't want to be around their kids and don't want to watch their kids grow up, because from what I know, it's not true. A lot of the time, they do really want to be involved. So I just didn't understand why they would play on that. That it would be the whole thing of like, producer running away from his baby mama and she being crazy. Like I hate the whole like women being crazy thing over a man like that. That was a bit like off for me. She was funny like as an actress. I just don't think it was necessary. I feel like they could have done so much more with it. Like it could have been a completely different thing, because I already like the fact that he was quite wealthy and he was like a self-made guy with his producing business, with his music. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, he had a studio that was going in the right direction, and then he had to have like one thing wrong with him. Like I wasn't for it really. Okay, this is a huge spoiler. This is probably the biggest spoiler, but Jerry's mum dying. Why? Why did she die? Like it made no sense at all. And then again, that might be why, but like, why did she die? It made literally, I remember watching it and being like, huh? One of my favorite scenes from the whole show is, or I think it might be my favorite scene, is when Jeremiah is in the toilets crying and Kaz is comforting him. So I love the way they transition into that scene where they're literally talking about something else and then he goes, Kaz, I miss my mum. Whew! Tears in my eyes. I rewinded it. I was sitting there like, whew, like it was so good, because I feel like it really showed their brotherhood. They really care about each other. They really love each other. They are there for each other through thick and thin, and it showed. It showed through that scene. It showed through the fact that Kazim was not going to take the investment without Jeremiah. It just showed through the whole thing, and I loved their brotherhood. I loved their friendship. For me, it was really realistic, because you know, like if you know black men, you know that their boys are everything. Like they really go to town for their guys. Like they really respect their friends. They are there for them. If something happens in their family, it's happening in their family. Like I love that and I respect that. So that's one thing I appreciate that came through from that scene, but I just don't think she needed to die. I don't think she was that big enough of a character for her to die, like, and for us to be like deeply affected by it. I think as the viewers, we were only upset because Jeremiah was upset. We weren't really upset because we're like, oh no, we miss her as a character, because again, she didn't really add that much. But that's beside the point, I suppose. I don't know. I think for me, I would just like to see a family that's just like functional. I just want people that are happy. Then again, this is why I watch American TV shows. So yeah, that's all my points about Enterprise and why I really enjoyed it as a TV show. But also it frustrated me, but I enjoyed it. I really recommend it. I would easily say 9 out of 10. If it was longer, it would have easily been a 10. It's such a good show. I just love that it's written by a young black man. And he's a Christian. Ooh, and he's a Christian too. I just love that, and I think it's such a good show. I really recommend. Check it out on BBC iPLAYER. I'll put the link in the description box. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating, comment down below, share this video and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!